All right. We're back for a mini episode right before Thanksgiving. I started recording because Allie wants to record her or organize her thoughts, so it might be a little while.
I need to organize my life, and that is going to take a minute.
Anyways, all right. Welcome to Allie Oz. This is a mini episode right before Thanksgiving. We wanted to give you some tips and tricks on how to get through the holidays with your family or your friends or whatever.
I have other things, but yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk through the other things and then we can get to the tips and tricks?
I want to know if you've ever thought about putting your lab results in ChatGPT.
No. First of all,
you can do that.
I know, but
would you do that?
Who is ChatGPT and why do they want all my personal stuff now? No, I will use it to do my stuff, like so I don't have to write, but I don't think I want to put all my personal stuff in there. What are people doing it?
Yeah.
What are they finding out?
They're putting any of their health stuff that they get back.
And what are they finding out?
And then it just tells you if you just plop in those results, it tells you about your health. But then who else sees that?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
No, so I don't think that's what ChatGPT should be for.
But interesting if people it's like the new WebMD.
Yeah.
Right?
Scary.
Yeah. And then the other thing on the sick note that I saw was this is an old Amish trick, and I thought of you because you weren't feeling good last week.
Oh, yeah.
2 onions, like cut in half
on your
above
boobs.
your boobs.
Okay.
With a Ziploc full of hot water, and then you put that over there, and onions absorb everything. And so it's an old Amish home remedy for helping with cough and like to clear that congestion out of your chest.
It's like you're doing Reiki
So
massage.
I suppose you could do it on your forehead with just a...
They say to do it on your feet, too, because it can pull toxins and stuff out.
I always put the Vicks Vapor Rub on the feet.
Do you
ever do that?
No, because I'm not a huge petroleum fan.
Oh, you're not?
No, I'm not.
Weird.
But I like the onion thing. That's
I thought it was interesting. And then I think when you put the bag over it, it kind of disguises the
bag
smell.
over your head.
But it won't, if you don't I suppose if you're congested though, you don't really smell it anyways. So it wouldn't be, I would think that would be the only thing that people would potentially not like it for.
Well, and here's the thing. It's not that much different than, I would say, the Vicks or whatever else.
Right, because you maybe think that's kind of spicy smelling.
Yeah.
My kids would say spicy.
It's spicy
when they
smelling.
were little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I think the moonlight is a little better in your glasses.
Yeah, or just it's where I'm sitting.
I think we just need to do the zip tie a little different.
We have it zip tied. I don't know if you are familiar.
We're
with
MacGyvering it out.
It's like girl math, but girl construction.
We're just making it work for now
Audrey,
until we
go
can
up and
figure
down
it out.
my basement stairs 67 times.
Oh my gosh! I should have made you wear my watch, so then I get the step credit.
Oh my! I got a money tree today.
Where did you?
I want to put it down here, but there's not enough light. It
No,
needs
don't.
light.
It does need light.
So I put it upstairs right in front of my tree in my window that I need all the money.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. And they get big fast too. And they can, have you looked up the money tree, like a mature money tree? It's freaking huge.
No, Jordan has one up at the lake that is a decent size as well. And that was my question. There was a little barcode thing to scan it.
Mm-hmm.
You have a really long list.
I know, it's kind of fun.
And it was ribboned together, all the different branches.
Mm-hmm.
I untied it. Should I have left it ribboned together?
I think for a little bit till it
It
establishes
said to
itself.
let the bag of dirt, it doesn't seem like enough dirt. I'll have you look at it.
Okay.
But it says let it breathe and sit for 30 days before you would try to do anything to it because it needs to be accustomed to its surroundings.
And it doesn't need a lot of water, I don't think.
Okay.
Because I think I overwatered mine.
I watered it. It said it was thirsty when it showed up, so I did water it.
with
It
with
said,
water.
"Hi, I'm thirsty. Water me."
So I can bring you some money.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Is that it?
I have something that's probably good. It's about stockings. Let's save that for Christmas.
Yeah, I think that's
the other
good.
thing I read this week that I thought was kind of interesting, and we don't have to get too deep on it, but I thought it was a very interesting topic. We have the most friends when we're the worst version of ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So as you become your best self,
Yeah.
you create a smaller group. And I thought that was
would agree
super
with that.
interesting.
It's kind of something you have to really think about.
But you know, when
bit.
you're younger and you're in school, let's say, or you just want to be like popular and have all the people around you. And as you get older, I feel like the older I get, the less I need.
Yeah, and you just need the quality of people versus the quantity. Yeah, I would probably
So I
agree
thought
with
that
that.
was a nice fact. So let's remember going into the holidays
Yeah.
To give the quality people in your life what they deserve.
Yeah. And do you think that's why I only have a few friends?
I'm sweating right now.
Are you?
Whitney, it's like I was dancing
because you're
with
standing
somebody.
next to me.
I was like I was dancing with somebody.
I feel like you're like up in my business right now. I want to dance with somebody. Are you ready to get into the Thanksgiving tips and tricks?
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah,
And I don't know if
please.
this is on your list, but I don't know if you saw that PETA unveiled its... Okay, yep. Sorry, PETA was part of... Oh, the girls' night went and saw Wicked.
Oh, you did go and see it. Okay. Because
Last
Mo and John
night.
are going on Friday.
They
so
are.
I was-
We went and saw it last night, and it was amazing.
That's awesome. Were you talking...
Long. Too long. Too long.
Were people singing in the movie theater?
No, and both of my kids were like, if those theater kids start singing during it, we're going to have a problem. But we didn't go to the Dolby or the IMAX. We just went to the basic showing. That was still $15.
I mean, that's not bad, I don't think. It's a 3-hour movie.
I still made Paige buy her own icy. I've made her do that her whole life. Unless she goes to the movie with the Medlows, who buy her an icy. I made her buy her own.
It's the holidays.
I buy the popcorn. I don't care. Those things are like $10.
Wow. Age has
like-
really hardened you.
She's like, I'm buying my own. But we did have too many previews, and we ate almost all our popcorn, and I drank a bunch of stuff and had to go pee before the movie even started.
Sounds like me. Yeah, John and Morgan's like, do you want to go? I'm like, no. The last thing I want to do is sit in.
And he was like, eh.
No, Kevin and I are the same on that. Yeah.
We stopped at Walgreens and got candy too.
Can you like slide over? I feel like you're in my space.
Am I making you sweat?
Yeah, maybe that's why you're sweaty. There.
That face wasn't for fun. It was for...
Woo! Now I can breathe, girl. Oh, are you cooler now?
Whitney.
Are you cooler?
No, I'm actually, I need a fan. I think we need a Beyonce fan down here.
Here, do you want one of these? Don't hit yourself with this, because that would not be good. Oh, well, good. I'm glad that nobody sang in the theater.
It was really good though, and it's the first part. It's only Act 1.
That's what I heard. Yeah,
So 2.5 hours.
it's a long commitment of a movie. Yeah. Cool. All right, so going into the PETA, one tip and trick I have is don't sexually assault the turkeys. That is your tip or trick to get through the holiday season. I actually wrote it. Don't fuck the turkey.
These people were having sexual intercourse with the turkey cavity.
At Butterball Turkey Farm.
We can say that because it's out in the press now.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, and they were finishing their business and then sending them to be frozen and shipped off.
Disgusting.
Clean out your cavities, everyone.
Disgusting. First of all,
Why would you do that?
and
What's wrong with you?
go buy a freaking sex doll. There's
Give me your cup because we're just gonna finish this. There's not much left.
yeah, like I don't know what would possess you to need to sexually assault a turkey, but don't do it.
Well, and speaking of turkeys,
Yeah.
there's been some more turkey deaths in your neighborhood.
Oh, one.
Did you have that?
There's one more turkey death in the neighborhood. It was the third homicide. And this one, there was a struggle because there were feathers
Was there any
everywhere.
foul play? There was foul play.
And it was drug into the,
I said
woods.
call the city.
I'm not. I don't care that much.
Very interesting.
Okay, so other than don't do, no, I can't have any harm to your turkey or any other living animal.
Yeah.
So when we go to holiday gatherings, like my mom has a big side of the family, like if all my aunts and uncles get
Extended.
together, but we don't really get together with them for the holidays, really.
Okay.
So I think it's fun because like you come from a big family and big gatherings. So I thought I could bring the take of like 6 or less people at holidays, and you potentially could have 15 to 30.
72.
Oh, so here's a couple tips.
We used to all sit down at my aunt and
I
uncle's.
can't believe that. Good for them. Okay.
My therapist has a family like you. They're all only children, he told me. His wife and everybody. So it's like 4 people.
Yeah, it's quiet. Okay, so here's a couple things that I have. Did you come up with some tips?
No.
Okay, then you can just piggyback off of mine.
Well, my tip was don't have sex with a turkey.
Yeah, don't have sex with a turkey. Here, some of them are funny, some of them are not. Just because it has always been that way doesn't mean doesn't have to be that way. Does that make sense? So just because something's been done like that in the past doesn't mean it always has to be done that way. And I'll give you a for instance.
Okay. Yeah, let me know, and I'll tell you what I think about that saying.
So I was at the grocery store today, and there was a mom, and she was not super mobile. And she's like talking to her husband who's helping her do the grocery shopping. She's like, if I don't get the brown sugar for the beans, and I'm going to hear it from so-and-so, and I don't want to hear it from so-and-so. And I'm thinking, listen,
I'm not going to this party.
So-and-so sounds like a grown adult. If so-and-so wants the baked beans with brown sugar, have so-and-so bring the fucking baked beans themselves. Right? Like, don't put that on somebody else.
That was the TikTok I sent you, the lady saying, don't try your new recipes for mac and cheese.
That was me. Yeah. I said I would try new recipes because my group is small enough.
Yeah.
So I actually had...
No, we had the same for that big group. There was just a rhyme and a reason. Certain people brought turkeys. We would usually have like 4 or more turkeys, however many pounds of potatoes. Like, there was people in charge of all the things. And as you got older, of course, you started bringing more things.
But kind of like your gathering, like you found out what they had for dessert and you're like, I kind of would like a little something extra.
No one likes lemon meringue and just pumpkin pie, Brian. We're bringing French soak and banana cream. That's what my family eats.
But I mean, like, you would not expect him to get that for you. No. See, that's what I mean. Like, just because it's always been that way doesn't mean it always has to be. So take charge. Do something different if you really need to.
Bring my own. Yeah. So remind me I have to Venmo you for that.
Okay. No is a complete sentence.
Yep. With
That's
a period.
Okay. Yeah.
With a period.
So remember that. You have permission from Allie and Odds to just say no. I mean, you don't have to be a dick about it. Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say too. I was going to say, like, if you feel like, don't be afraid to be the first people to leave and the last ones to arrive. John and I are always the ones that are like, oh, okay, we're out of here. If you've had enough, you've had enough. Like, you're not there for anybody else other than you. And so I actually said that, like, don't be afraid to leave first. And if you need some excuses because you feel guilty because you've never been the first one to leave or not go, if you say you have to poop your pants, or if you have like a significant other, just say they have to poop their pants and they're driving, so you have to go with them. Nobody's going to question you. Or
we don't usually have that. It's usually the fight over who's going to drive.
Okay.
In case people are drinking.
But if you don't want to go, don't go.
Yeah.
If you wake up in the morning and you're like, I just cannot deal with Aunt Larry.
Well, that's Uncle Larry, Aunt Larry,
Aunt Larice, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, don't go.
Yeah.
No is a complete sentence and feel sick.
We've had this discussion. Yeah. I've had it with my mom, so it's not a surprise to her if she's going to watch this, about like generations and the expectation of those things. Like her generation just expects everyone should show up and be there and do whatever. And, you know, my expectation is, you know, like, if you can make it, great. And if you can't, I'm not going to force you to, because then I feel like it was that whole thing about we were forced to do things.
Yeah.
So then I would never force my kids. So like Kevin's family gets together on Wednesday night with his siblings since his dad's passed away, and Paige has to work. And so it just is, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, take work off because you got bills to pay.
Yeah. I just think like you have to start being you and if you really can't go, and if it's toxic. I think
I saw online that was like about your family when your kids get married. They're creating their own family. It's not they're becoming a part of, they are a part of your family, but then they're creating their own family. So you have to let them create their own traditions and do their own thing. I think sometimes I teeter on not like giving them too much space.
Sure.
Like there's a fine line with the kids, I think, too, sometimes, where I don't ever want them to feel like I'm forcing them to do things, but I do always want them to be a part of it. But I don't want them to feel like they're being
obligated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, you do you. And as long as you're not being an asshole to people or doing harm to others or killing turkeys or sodomizing turkeys, like,
then you're in
you have to do it for you, and it's okay. And people might be mad at you, but that's on them. You're not in charge. You're not in charge of anybody's happiness except your own. So there you go. Okay. And then I thought too, like, if you really feel like you can't not go, plan something before or after that you're looking forward to, right? And then you have an excuse to get out of there. So we always eat early. So that's why, like, for me, it'd be like planning something afterwards. But if you don't want to go, and you feel like
Yeah.
you have to, then do something fun before or after.
I feel like we always kind of did earlier too with our extended family, but it seems like with my mom, it's always like more dinner. Like because I have siblings that work in healthcare, so they work weekends and holidays, so we just do different days. We don't even do. Sometimes I feel like that's harder for people, is to not do it on the day. And Bonnie, I am talking about you. The day is significant, but it's really just about getting together.
Exactly. That's the other
So
thing.
I get it. And I know it's hard to not do it on the day because sometimes it doesn't feel the same. But let's just be happy that we're all together.
Yeah. And I think one thing that popped in my head too is like, I know people, and I know we know the same people. Let me spit it out. Let's remember, Mercury's in retrograde until December 16th. So things are not going to go as prepared because it's going to be a little wonky just in general because, Mercury's in retrograde. So I think the other thing too is have realistic expectations.
Yeah.
If Aunt Flo gets drunk at every single holiday event on wine, don't expect any different, right? Like, don't expect that Aunt Flo's not going to drink this year and make a fool of herself. Yeah, Aunt Flo's probably going to do that, right? So just set your expectations accordingly. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like you said, it's about getting together, hanging out, and
it could be your last holiday together with some of these people. You don't
right,
know.
You don't know.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you meant because you have an Aunt Flo that's
No. I'm just saying, like, that could be it. So you got to my sister sent me some TikTok about that. You just never know when you'll see each other again. So sometimes you just got to be right in the moment.
And speaking of, nice segue. High five.
It's like we talked about this.
Put your phone down during the holiday. Be engaged. Put your phone down. It's one day, unless you're in specific
3 days I have.
Okay.
Well, Thursday, Friday.
Unless you're in specific jobs where maybe you're on call or something.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing is that important that's on your phone. So be engaged. John and I have this conversation too. And I just asked for his help on this. Like, my family can sometimes be really quiet. So it feels like the burden of the conversation sometimes can fall to me because, have you met me? Like, I can talk a lot. But then he goes off and just watches TV on his phone in the living room while I am
entertaining
with everybody, right?
Yeah.
So over the years, I'm like, listen, like, I can't have you do that because it is not fun for me then. And they want to talk to you. They want to have conversations with you.
It's so unrelatable to me because ours is the opposite. Yeah. Ours is like screaming and yelling and talking over everyone and kids. Like I always say, like, when you walk in, you just drop your kid at the door. And whether they're a baby or whoever or whatever, they just find you when you're leaving. And
so then how do you handle that? Because that's opposite of what I'm saying.
I think you just kind of appreciate, and we didn't know any different. Like, you don't know any different with the quietness. And I said this, I always say this, but Kevin will agree to this too, as he came into the family. And he comes from two big external family sizes as well, but when you come into it, it's a little overwhelming. And so he always would be like our advocate, like, it's fine, I know it seems a little overwhelming, but it's worth it. Stay for the ride. It's kind of fun. We all always have a good time. And so it's always a little bit sad to me sometimes, like, because I think of my cousins and how we all spent holidays together, and now as our kids have all grown up, it's gotten obviously more separated, but it's just because how do you accommodate that?
Right. You can't.
72 people.
Yeah, that's a lot. And it's a lot to ask of just one person
but
or two
it's
people.
fun when we all get together. Like, I have a bunch of uncles who play in a garage band and they do that, and it's just fun.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't change it by any means. Is it overwhelming? For sure.
Yeah.
And is there drama? My mom filled me in on all the family drama yesterday.
So yes, there's drama. But that's part of it, right? That's part of it.
Yeah.
It's part of being in a big family. There's drama in a little family too. It's just that you usually don't talk about it. So here's the other thing. So if it gets to be overwhelming, remove yourself. Maybe go for a walk.
You're removing yourself from a lot of things.
No, I'm just saying, like, if it gets to be a lot, like,
have your own power to do.
Yeah, I'm not saying leave forever.
Yeah.
right? But I'm just saying, like, hey, if it gets to be too much and you're feeling your senses are like overwhelmed, or you just can't stand talking to somebody, or like you just need a break, go for a walk.
Well, and you know what's going to be a hot topic, and it's one of my favorite. The kids, I tell them, it was a Vine before, and I think, I don't know if I've shared it with you, but it's the guy who's talking about the Wizard of Oz. And he's going on and he's like, she was a witch and her sister was a princess. And he does this whole like thing. But people put it to all these different like family, like holiday things.
Yeah.
And I think politics comes into play now this season.
Especially this season. No, it's not. I just assume that's just a...
And so you just stay away from that because you can't...
Unless your family wants to talk about it. But if that pushes your buttons or
healthy talk.
Yes.
But there is no... I think...
Can't be polarized.
So I think that becomes a problem where people get very upset and angry, or just, I know that my niece and my oldest have said that they aren't going to go to certain things because of other situations. And I get that. So it's fine. You don't have to participate in some things because it's fine.
Right, because you, like we said, we get to take...
You have to be comfortable.
If that conversation starts, then maybe you go for a walk. Or, here's my other thing.
Your face.
My face. Help out. And if you are hosting, ask for help. And put together a list of things that need to be done before, after. So then on the fly, you're not thinking about it. So if the conversation happens and you go in the kitchen and there's dishes in the sink, do the fucking dishes. Even if the host or where you're at is like,
nothing to
no, don't do that. No, do it. Because guess what? If you have a shit ton of people like you guys do, have them clean your house after. So one of my tips is don't clean your house super great before. Maybe scrub the toilet surfaces in the kitchen and floor. But other than that, have everybody do it when they're there. Kind of like the grad party we were at here when Allie said the storm was coming and everybody scrambled to take the tent down.
Yeah.
You had how many people here to help with that? It took no time at all. So be like helpful to the people that are actually hosting. And if for some reason you just, again, need to get away and need to do something, go in. And you know what? All the littles that you talk about, guess what? If they have two hands, they can help too. They can load the dishwasher. They can pick up garbage.
They like to help too.
Yeah. So I just said, make a list.
It's good. It's
and
hard
have
for
people check it off.
I think the Leo that I am, it is really hard to either let people help or whatever. But I think I have learned as I've gotten older and through this hip surgery that you just need people to help you.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And they might not do it the same way.
Set your expectations right. So they might not load the dishwasher the way you do. It's fine. It's one meal.
Done.
It's going to be fine.
It got done.
The 8-year-olds, cleaning forks in the sink. Awesome. So that's what I thought. Like over the next couple days, take a hot second, write down all the things you'd need help with. So when people come in, you have a list on the fridge or a list on the counter and people start checking it off.
Yep.
And do that. Don't just assume that.
Do you do that?
No, but everybody kind of has some assigned chores.
Okay.
My grandma always washes the dishes after. My mom dries them. I put them away.
Okay.
Morgan helps in the kitchen beforehand. John usually takes out garbage and helps set stuff out.
Yeah,
so we all kind of have our
your
roles.
Thing. Yep, Yep.
So now that's how to get through that part. The other thing that I said is play some games. Right?
Yeah, we always do.
So I was thinking some games that we've played that makes people laugh, right? Because I always think it's fun, kind of lighthearted, is Would You Rather. You can get all those online. Like, would you rather eat a toenail
and you can
or a
involve
booger?
kids if you need to.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like adults only.
No, absolutely. And then the other thing, because you just showed old videos of this, I forgot about the game Heads Up.
So good.
Like, how fun. And we've actually played that one Thanksgiving with my mom. And my mom is not really like quick on her feet. She's like
she's quiet.
She's quiet, but she's also like an observer and like a thinker, right? So for her to think on her feet.
What's her astrological sign?
Cancer.
Okay.
So anyway, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
What games do you guys play?
I just saw something online too about headbands. You know, the thing where you wear the headbands and so that's good. What Telestrations? We've played that together
love
too. That's
that
a good
game.
one.
Yeah, that's so fun.
The kids love that, and you can like pee your pants laughing. It's real good. What else? Categories we kind of got back into when we took a trip to Florida with my family, and they had it at the VRBO or whatever. My sisters and my nephews, of course, now they can like spell and do all that.
Yeah.
So then we started playing it here because we had it.
Yeah, it's fun. The other thing too I thought of, get a giant puzzle and get a card table
I have
and
one
have
over there on my puzzle thing at the drawers. And
I might
haven't
actually do
touched
that
it.
this Thanksgiving and just have people work on the puzzle.
My friend Jordan, who we talk about a lot on here,
She needs to send us her floating head, or maybe she'll be the first live guest.
Yeah, we'll get one. I just talked to her yesterday, but she is a puzzle. She's my puzzle person, and I think she'd be one of those people. If you've ever seen those puzzle contests where they do like puzzles in 30 minutes, but we went to Mexico a couple years ago, and she brought a puzzle, and her and I sat at the table
and just
on
did
like
the puzzle.
random times and tried to put the puzzle together. Everyone else was like, "What are you guys doing?" And I'm
Actually,
like, "I love this."
Now that I say that, I'm gonna.
When you guys go to Florida for softball, you should do that.
Yeah. Do you have any puzzles I can
I
take?
do. I have a ton.
Okay. Do they have all the pieces? Because that would annoy me.
Yes.
Because then I'm going to get my folding table up from the garage and I'm going to put that up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun thing to do. I love puzzles. I did it one year. Actually, Jordan and I did a thing and I bought one and it was had been a really long time. And the family just kind of started like helping. If it's on the table, everyone will just kind of do it.
Yeah. I think that's good.
It's a good idea.
And something
do
fun.
A puzzle.
Do a puzzle.
Do a puzzle. And it's good for your brain.
And the last thing I said is,
that's a lot. This is kind of a full episode.
Watch the Allie and Odds podcast. All right, so this is episode 23. Yeah, watch the Allie and Odds podcast with your family.
I feel like I just watched the other episode and I wanted to talk about something, but I don't remember now.
So those are my tips.
Watch out for this weekend because we're going to do a few fun things.
On the loose. Anything else that you'd recommend for people to get through the holidays? Just have fun. Life's short. Enjoy it. Drink wine.
Or something else if you want.
Or caffeine. Or
tea.
Dirt water is what John calls tea.
Yeah.
But yeah, just go have fun. Set
just
expectations.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just don't even fret. Is that a word people use anymore?
Fret. Do not fret about it.
I think just enjoy yourself. So whatever it is, to not impede on others. Just do what works for you.
Yeah, I agree.
Go into it with an open heart and an open mind.
And gratitude. And be like that guy from the Cleveland Browns who's just grateful for
Mr.
everything.
Watson. He was just happy to be alive.
Do you guys ever go around the table and say things you're grateful for?
Rose and Thorn. Oh, sorry. I was just doing some physical therapy while we're
do we need to be done?
No. Yeah, I do that. I like to do that for a lot of different things. I've done it at work before. I've done it with like friend things for weekends.
Are you grateful for me?
Yes, you are a rose.
You
like no
are a
other.
carnation. I would say you're a lily, but then I would not like you.
I would like to be a tulip.
A tulips.
Oh, that's weird.
Too soon.
2 legs.
2 legs.
2 working legs. I'll tell you
Two
what.
legs
Let's
crew.
just be. It's Thanksgiving. I know you're thankful. I'm thankful I have a good. Oh, that's what I was talking about. I was watching episode 11, and it was Shepherd to Lost Sheep. Shepherd to Lost Sheep. And guess what? That was when Kevin was having his knee surgery, and we were going on and talking about that, and there was no way I could have known that this is how my year would have ended.
Yeah.
But I am just so thankful that A, it's not something more serious, and B, I am like brand new.
You are brand new. Brand spanking new in your Whitney shirt.
This incision is no joke. And I had to try to put some steri strips on it myself today after I showered. That was very interesting.
Can we do an illustration?
It's this long.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of, it's kind of like rolled.
It looks like a blunt.
Yeah. And I did buy some silicone scar sheets to hopefully put on it to make it smoother.
Yeah.
But my therapist said, too, you could get some vitamin E and kind of to break up the tissue a little bit.
Does it hurt?
Thick. No, it is harder in certain spots. But it's back to flab all around it. I mean, it was like visibly, like if you looked at my like hips, the one went like this, like off the screen.
Yeah.
And then this one was normal.
Good. See, so you're grateful for that.
I'm so thankful for that. Thank you, Dr. Ridley.
I try to do 5 things I'm grateful for before I get out of bed.
Every day? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Some days are better than others, but there you go.
What was today's?
Well, I didn't do it today because I was... really
Every day, but I didn't do it today. Okay.
I do it 80% of the time,
Right,
okay?
cheers.
Way
Well,
to call me
I'm
out.
thankful for you.
I'm thankful for you too, and thanks for putting up with this podcast. People, we're thankful for you, and we hope you get some joy out of this because that's what we're here.
Year.
I know. We're going to talk about that next week. Mm-hmm. All right. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Stay safe.
please.
And use some of our tips and let us know if you use it. Oh, yeah. You should be thawing it by now. If it's not thawed out, it's fine.
We got it in the fridge.
And you know what? Don't panic. Just throw it in some water in the sink.
Okay.
If you need
I
to.
don't do that piece.
I do.
Like, you do the same thing.
Oh, I'm making a new recipe.
So is he.
Mac and cheese.
Oh. No, he's making a new turkey recipe.
Oh, I'm making a new mac and cheese recipe.
Well,
and a new dessert. All right. Bye. See you this weekend.
You'll be super happy.